Hello and welcome to another video from the Silver Citizen. Remember, if you like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a video, and hit the share button. Share on your social media, get the word out. Alright, let's get into it. Now, this video is about yesterday's game against Crystal Palace. Ended 4-2. Now, the first half, although we had a lot of the ball, didn't really do anything with it. It was too slow, it was too pedestrian. I'll go on about City with the ball before I start going on about the goals. It was too slow. It was far too pedestrian. I mean, if you watch it, you can see Palace have got a back five. They take turns. One of the three in the middle will watch out Haaland. Take it in turns. But they're at walking pace. When we had, I think it was 80% possession in the first half. And physically, I doubt any one of the Crystal Palace's players would have had a drain of sweat on their shirt. All they did was walk. There was a little jogging involved. But the only way they're going to get tired is mentally, or fall asleep, because all City were doing was passing it in front of them, sideways and backwards. In fact, the one time that they tried to get in behind, they got in behind. And it was Erling Haaland that took it past the keeper, went to slip it past him. It was at a tight angle, but he ended up hitting the side netting. And that we had two chances. One was a ball out to Mahrez. It was a race between him and Mitchell, who I thought, until he got injured in the second half, Mitchell had Mahrez in his back pocket for most of the match. It was just one particular point where it was a race between Mitchell and Mahrez to get to the ball. Mahrez beat him to it and flashed the ball across the side, the 6-yard box before it could reach Haaland on the back post, which would have been a tapping. The Sterling goal, I'll call it. The goalkeeper got an hand to it and pushed it away. Other than that, again, slow pedestrian passing, went out to the right. I think it was Bernardo Silva that cut in on his left foot and whipped a ball in. Unfortunately, it fell to Foden and not Haaland, and obviously Foden being a lot smaller than Haaland, he came up probably round about there and went over the bar. I think if it was Haaland, it's at least going on target. But that was it for City. A lot of the ball, a lot of passing, not a single shot on target, 3 attacks, or 3 chances, I'd say, 2 shots, none on target. And it didn't look like it was going to change. Whether it was where we went 1-0 down, whether it was where we went 2-0 down, nothing gave him a kick up the arse. And I thought, getting at half time, Pep's going to rollick him. And hopefully, we'll see a reaction in the second half. As for Palace, perfect away performance. Soak up any pressure that was there, which wasn't much. Watch the home team pass the ball in front of you. When you hit the ball, hit them quick on the break, which they did. 2 attacks, 2 shots, 2 goals. I don't blame Ederson for either one of them. I don't think Ederson had a chance with either one of them. The pass that came through to Ederson leading up to the free kick, people might turn and say he should have got hold of it. I think Ederson probably actually thought to himself when he had hold of the ball that he might slide out of the area, and then it's a free kick. which is why I think he just pushed it away from the attacker that was coming in, and then went to get up and go towards the ball. By the time he got up and gone towards the ball, he realised that he wasn't going to get there and started to backpedal. And Cancelo gave away the free kick. Now, for me, I said it earlier on, we need a left-footed fullback to play against the likes of Palace. And this was the reason why. I don't think that challenge is something that a left-footed player would have made. I don't think Zinchenko would have made it. I don't think Gomez would have made it. I don't think Wilson Esbrand would have made it. I think they'd have been coming in, personally, let the Newcastle Palace player take it, and then stand up to him. What Cancelo didn't want to happen was him to take it on the wide. He prefers, if they're coming at him, to cut inside. If they're facing up, there's a chance of him going there. And I think that's what made him stick his foot out, which no longer gave away the free kick, which I don't think a left-footed player would have done. I don't think they'd have got the free kick. But from the resulting free kick, they scored. Game kicked off at 3 o'clock, and from 3:03, Palace time wasted. Because at 3:02, they scored. Some people I've heard some people say that De Bruyne should have cleared it. I think that the Palace fella went in front of De Bruyne and got a little flick, which I think took it away from De Bruyne getting anything. The one I was disappointed with was Diaz. Because if you watch it again, when the ball's coming up, to me it looks like Diaz ducks underneath it. Rather than going to attack it, he ducks. I don't think he should have ducked. And because he ducks, it bounces off John Stones' leg and goes past Ederson. Ederson didn't have a chance. There you go, 2 minutes in. Palace are 1-0 up. The second goal came from a corner. Palace's second attack. But you've got Ayew and Cancelo running towards the ball, and Ayew goes whack. He gives Cancelo a look. He looks at Cancelo, he knows he's there, and then he sticks his arm up. Bang. Forearm right into the face. Cancelo goes down holding his face. Now, last week we played Newcastle, and the referee had a perfect view of Kieran Trippier taking out Kevin De Bruyne at knee height while the ball was on the floor, and rightly gave him a red card. He saw that incident, and he acted on it. And VAR went, no, we want you to change your mind. Now, from the viewpoint of this happening, because if you watch on City Plus, you'll know what I mean. Looking at it first off, I thought to myself, come on, Joe, get up. Hold in your face, probably even the chest. So, and the ref is looking at it from behind João Cancelo. He's also got a few players running in his viewpoint. So don't blame the ref for not seeing it. The linesman had a view. The linesman should have brought his attention to it, but he didn't. But VAR, we're not here to re-referee. Really? Because you didn't have a problem fucking re-refereeing last week. For me, that should have been a free kick. I think, personally speaking, if it would have been Mahrez or Bernardo Silva doing that to Mitchell at the other end, it would have been a free kick. Because VAR would have gone, oh, wait a minute. It's a forearm to the face. Go and have a look at that. VAR is just there for the team they want to win. To try and get the result they want. I have no time for VAR. Now, alright, granted, the ref didn't see it, the ref didn't give it. Not a problem with nothing getting given. But when the referee does see it and acts accordingly, you get him to change his mind. When he doesn't see it, you go, oh no, nothing doing. This is the problem. It's not the technology of VAR, it's the idiots that are looking at it. Because technology is not corrupt. The people looking at it are corrupt, useless at the job, and showing themselves up on a weekly basis. But anyway, free kick wasn't given. I'd get away with VAR anyway, so the free kick wouldn't have been given anyway. And from the resulting corner, Palace made it 2. Now it looks at first glance that Anderson had a free header. But when you're looking at it a second time, Guy stops Haaland or whoever else to get a run in front of Anderson. I don't think it was a free kick. I'm not saying that it should have been disallowed for obstruction or anything like that. He had a job to do, and that was to make sure that Anderson doesn't have anyone challenging for the ball, and he did it perfectly. So although it looks like Anderson had a free header, it was because Guy did the job that he was supposed to do very well and stopped anyone challenging for him. Like I said, I don't think it was a free kick. He headed it. Ederson, full stretch, no chance, 2-0 down. Now, Palace, I've heard Palace fans moaning that they should have had a third goal. The rules clearly state that if the ball hasn't completely left Ederson's hand, or the goalkeeper's hand, then it's still in his possession. Now Ederson was coming out, and he went to roll it. And he's seen that the attacker was close, so he took a few more steps. So if he rolled it to De Bruyne, and the fella got a touch on, he'd know that he was still in control of that ball when the time came. Therefore, correct decision. Referee blew his whistle. No goal. Comes out the second half, and I was quite disappointed because nothing had really changed. Everything was pretty much the same. It was slow. It was pedestrian. There wasn't anything happening. You know, I mean, you might have been tiring the players out mentally, but you weren't moving the ball quick enough to tire them out physically. Moving from side to side. Use the width of the pitch. Not until Mitchell made the wrong decision. Now, I don't think that was mental. You know, mental fatigue or whatever you want to call it. When Rodri gets the ball, if you watch, Mitchell looks over his shoulder and sees Bernardo. And then he sees Mahrez running. And he knows Mahrez is going to see his friend's number. He's not going to know Mahrez is there. So he goes to Mahrez, the immediate threat. The way the game's been going all the other time, probably thinking to himself, if he knocks it out to Bernardo, I'll deal with that threat when it goes out there. Because he'll probably get it, he'll do a few step overs, he'll pass it back to Kyle Walker. No harm, no foul. Unfortunately this time for him, when Bernardo got the ball, he went at goal. Cut inside, went across, had the shot, deflected off Schlupp, and City are back in the game at 2-1. Bit of luck. Pretty much like Arsenal had later on in the day. When Ødegaard equalised for Arsenal, took a deflection off Adebayo, which took it away from the goalkeeper. Bernardo had a shot that took a deflection off Schlupp, and I think that's what took it away from the goalkeeper. I think if it doesn't take a deflection off Schlupp, I think the keeper quite easily picks it up. Now at that point, Pep had Alvarez and Gundogan stripped off and ready to come on because, like me, probably thinking to himself, nothing's really changed. We're not moving the ball quick enough. Everything's slow, everything's sideways and backwards. You go forward, you go back. I mean, there was a point in the time, I'm going back to the first half again here, but there was a point in time where we had the ball for a minute and a half. And at the start of the minute and a half, we're, probably about 35 yards away from Palace's goal. And at the end of the 35, at the end of the minute and a half, we're in our own half. So we've had the ball for a minute and a half and gone further away from Palace's goal. And that's what I'm talking about. Nothing had changed. There's still a lot of sideways and backwards passing, not getting in behind, not really troubling them. So he's gone to make changes. Because we'd scored, he sent them back. Go and warm up, see how it goes for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think if it had changed, I think he'd have probably kept it on ice. But then it got to the point where even after that, the passing really wasn't quick. It was still slow. The players weren't still getting dragged left, right and centre, getting dragged out of position, having people move. It wasn't happening. And from Bernardo scoring to the substitutes getting made, which I think was 8 minutes, we had one shot, which was Bernardo. We had one attempt in 8 minutes. And up until that point, Pep, like me, thinking to himself, this isn't changing. Thought, right, now I'll make the subs. And nothing had changed until he got to Bernardo and he went on this mazy little run and ended up hitting the shot wide. Messi-esque, except for the finish. And then immediately he brought on the subs. Cancelo and Mahrez came off, Gundogan and Alvarez came on, and within 60 seconds it was 2-2. Now, was it the fact that we scored the equaliser pretty much straight away? From the goal kick, City got the ball, it went out to Bernardo, down to De Bruyne, crossed it in. Alvarez got a flick. Because Alvarez was there, he dragged the person that was marking Foden towards him to try and win the header, giving Foden just a couple of seconds to be able to control it and put the ball back in the box, and there was Haaland heading it in for 2-2. From the game's restart after the subs to 2-2 was probably about 35 seconds, 40 seconds. It wasn't long. So whether it was the subs, whether it was the fact that we scored 2-2, I don't know. I'd say it was the subs, quite frankly, because of 2-1 and nothing changed. But after that, the ball started to get passed a lot quicker. Things started to happen. People were moving. Defenders were getting dragged out of position a little bit. Defenders were having to run rather than walk or stand still. And again, Bernardo's at the heart of the third goal. 1-2 with Alvarez, pushed it into Stones, so Stones missed it, and there's Haaland to tap it into an empty net, 3-2. Haaland made it 4-2 with, for me, the best finish of the match. Holding off the defenders, showing strength, composure in front of goal, bangs it in for his hat-trick, first of many. But after it went 3-2, for me it was more about game management from the players. Went back to, we don't need to score a goal. We just need to make sure that we've got the ball, because if we've got the ball, Palace can't score. Don't give them a sniff. Don't give them, that bit of incentive. Keep them away from our goal. Stop them getting a little bit excited. Kill the game. And that's what they did. And even more so with the fourth goal. Another reason why I think it was the best one. Because I watched it back, and there was 20 passes. But it wasn't just pass for tiki-taka sake. It was pass with intent. Even when they were going back, their intention was to create space going forward, drag Palace further out to hit them on the break, and that's what ended up happening. Couldn't do it when Palace were there, so we started trying to drag them out, hit them on the break, played it through to Ireland, 4-2. Then we just basically seen the game out from there. So, nice to see Gomez get a league debut. Hopefully he'll start games from now on. No. Much better performance after the subs. And I think if we perform anything like we did, honestly, against the top sides, like we did against Newcastle for, I'd say, after the 15th minute to probably the 60th, like we did for the first 60 minutes against Palace, playing that way against the top teams, your Spurs, your Chelseas, Arsenals, Liverpools, I think we'll get found out. We get away with it against certain teams, but what we want to stop doing is going 2 goals down. I mean, the last 2 games of last season, we went 2-0 down against West Ham and got 2-2. We went 2-0 down against Aston Villa and won 3-2. This year we've gone 3-1 down against Newcastle and pulled it back to 3-3. 2-0 down against Palace. You keep on giving the opposition a 2-goal lead before you start to wake up. You're going to come up against someone one day that you're not going to get the lead back. In the first half against West Ham last year, we didn't wake up. I think we were poor for the entire first half and the start of the second half until we called a goal back. Then we started to get on top. I thought we were poor against Aston Villa until Gundogan came on last year. Like I said, poor against Newcastle after 15 minutes. Until we went 3-1 down, and then we started to wake up. And we were docile yesterday. Keep on giving sides a 2-0 lead, and sooner or later you're going to get found out. So we need to stop that. We need to shut up shop at the back. We need to get back to keeping clean sheets. At the very least, conceding only 1. But a win's a win. And at the start of the season, when I was talking about the opening 6 games, I said that City, in my opinion, would have between 16 and 18 points. Well, we've got 10. And we've got Forest at home and Villa. I think we'll beat both of them. So the 16 points that I said after 6 games, we're going to have. So we're on track as far as I'm concerned. Alright, I thought we might drew against Palace and beat Newcastle, but there you go. But, yeah. We can't go and give Forest a 2-0 lead. Or Villa a 2-0 lead. And we definitely then can't continue to do it. Because I think we got Spurs after that. And funnily enough, the last time we lost at home was against Spurs. The last time we lost away was against Spurs. So, hopefully that record gets broken. Not about getting beat, but about beating Spurs. But yeah, it was a poor performance until the subs got made yesterday. The subs changed the match. Bernardo Silva, although Haaland scored the hat-trick, for me Bernardo Silva was the man of the match. He was the one that started to make things happen. He was the one that got the first goal. He was the one that was making things happen. He had a big hand in the second goal. He had a big hand in the third goal. If I was to give him marks, I'd say Bernardo Silva would get a 9. Haaland would get a 9. It's just that, for me, Bernardo Silva was starting to make things happen. Is what changed the game. But I don't think you can also forget the importance of John Stones in that first half. There's quite a few times that he stopped a breakaway happening and kept it at 2-0. But anyway, a win's a win. Happy days. Hopefully the performances improve. As long as we keep on winning, we'll keep on smiling. Until next time, adios amigos.